We're out with the WRX today doing a POV drive, so stay tuned for that. We'll do a little walk around of the vehicle first. If you guys have seen this on channel, you guys know what has been on it for mods, what do we have on it currently. And I do mention this inside of this video. Car is a little dirty. We take this thing mudded, baby. Here she is. Nice little rumble over there. But we are off. We're gonna go out on a POV drive with WRX. Let's go, baby. It's currently 12:46 in the afternoon. The sun is going down. It's 48 degrees. It's not that bad of a day. We're gonna let the car warm up a little bit before we start doing some pulls with it. But yeah, I'll probably go through the video, tell you all the things that I like about driving the car, tell you all the things I hate about driving the car, and basically we'll just go from a POV drive from there and then get some sound. And then yeah, that'll be pretty much the rundown of today's video. So to start off with the WRX, this was my dream car back when I was 13 years old. I'm now 21 and I absolutely hate this car. I'm gonna be straightforward and blunt with it. I hate this car. I don't know if it was because of the build that we did on it and it just wasn't working out for me that made me start to dislike the car as much as I do now. I'd say one of the most reasons why I hate driving this car, on a stock suspension, this car feels like you're driving basically lower. It's so stiff. It's comfortable to drive, but not as comfortable as I thought it would be. Eventually I was gonna lower it so it was gonna feel like this all the time, but for a stock suspension I wasn't expecting it to be so stiff and so rough. Every bump you hit, you nail it. Cam even said it in one of the previous videos. We went down to Mutual to get gas and my oh my, it was just, you pull in and dun, 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 dun. And in New England the roads aren't that great. There are a lot of potholes, and with this being a stiff suspension for a stock suspension, it is a little rough to drive. Now, other than that, other reasons why I hate driving the car is when I'm in traffic, manuals suck. Like, they absolutely suck. And if you are a die-hard manual driver, by all means, buy a manual car. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I love manual. It's just, I took this car once to New York City, and that flipped me, and I was like, yep, okay, I'm done with that. Yeah, stick in traffic is one of the worst things to do for me. I'm not a really fan of that. That was a lot, especially New York City traffic. If you guys have been around New York City or driven in or through New York City, it is not fun at all. Another reason to why I dislike driving this car is honestly the seats aren't the most comfortable seats. Now I know this is considered a sports car and a rally car. I 100% get that, but the lumbar in the middle of the seat is a fixed position, which means you can't change it forward or back, so that bar is always on your back and pressing up on you, which is not fun. So if you're driving this car for a long period of time, aka 4 hours plus, I think for me 3 hours I'm okay with, but if you're going 4 hours plus, it's definitely something to get used to. I mean, I'm used to it now, but sometimes when Cam gets in the car, it's very it's rough to drive. It's not fun to just sit in. With that being said, that's pretty much it for reasons why I dislike driving this car. Now we're gonna move on to why I love driving this car. The first reason to why I love driving this car is the modifications that you can do to this car. This car is basically a kit car. Other people may not consider it that. I do, because you can literally change absolutely everything in this car. Everything. The exhaust, the intake. If you're not a big, huge tuner guy, that's pretty much all you need on the car to have fun with it. An intake, the stage 1 tune from Cobb, and an exhaust, and that's pretty much it. That's what's on the car now, only because I sold half the other stuff. But the flexibility with the car and how much stuff you can actually do to this thing is like one of my favorite things about the car and why I like driving it. It's just to drive around, even with the windows closed on a nice day, you just hit the throttle a little bit like this. You hear everything. You hear the exhaust, you hear the intake, you hear the blow-off valve going. Now I know I'm going to contradict myself with saying this, but another reason why I love driving this car is because it is a manual. And I always dreamed of having a manual. I've always wanted a manual. I've always liked seeing people with manuals. I always thought it was a cool thing to have. And now that I have it, it's just something I can check off a list of things that I've had in my life type of thing. I would say a bucket list because I'm only 21. My second reason to why I absolutely love driving this car is the handling. Although I say the suspension is very stiff, it is, but the handling on this car is absolutely insane. You could take corners at 85, 90, and this thing will huck and turn. No body roll, no lean over. your body is going to lean over, but the car doesn't feel the body roll. If you're turning right, the car doesn't just roll up. This thing hucks down with stock suspension and sway bars. This car is actually pretty rad. We're gonna go down this sketchy road that's very narrow. It's kind of long. I'll show you just how good this car actually handles on stock suspension. What a voice crack. Get speed. I don't really know this back road that much. Let's see what happens. How that happened here, not way down there. I don't really know when the road ends here. Not really familiar with this road. I think it's right here. I'm not really familiar with this road, so I can't tell you what turns are what. There's certain roads that I know the back roads now. I know pretty good that I can actually go like 80 on them, but I don't really know that road that well. So it's kind of hard for me to just be like, let me just hit it. But there's a suspension for you. The car gets up and goes. It's pretty quick when you actually put some decent mods on it. But the suspension is stiff. You guys saw a few bumps where the car just the whole time. But then yet again, on stock suspension, that actually feels pretty stable. Now, I wonder how much better it would be on actual coilovers. Let's check what the gas mileage is. 25.1, not bad. For kind of beating it like that, it's not bad. And that's gonna be a wrap for today's POV drive of the WRX. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it probably wasn't the best POV. I'm gonna get better on that and try and get better angles of it. I wanted to do it right here. We're stuck out here and got this, but I had to put it on my passenger seat right about there. We got a few more days. Let's see what we got. We have, oh boy, let's check this out. We have a little over a week. Just a little over a week for the rest of Vlogmas. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, drop a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, And we'll talk to you guys in the next Vlogmas episode, baby. Peace out. Love you.
It's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas.